Hey guys, Wave here, and it's time for another video. Since Pokemon Omega Ruby and Sapphire are coming out in a few days at the time of recording, I figured I'd give the original games one last hurrah before the games would be remade in 3D. Now, a couple years back, I released Top 5 Pokegens, and I think that's one of the things that most people recognize me for, that I did not like Generation 3, and, well, using Missing No as a reason to hate it, which is pretty fucking stupid. A year later, I made Top 5 Pokegens, which was a remake of the original one. That one seemed to get a bit better reception, though some people still didn't agree with Gen 3, and that's fine. Like, not everyone's going to agree with that. I understand that completely. So yeah, it's been another year since that list came out, and I played the game once again for the speedrun. So what do I think of it now? Well, grab a drink, sit back, and I'll tell you. I'm not a fan of the rivals, nor the villain team, because with the villain team, I feel that they're roughly the same, just with a different goal in mind and colors. I'm sorry, but if you're going to have two teams in a franchise that usually has one, and you hardly do anything to make them different, that's going to raise a lot of problems. You might as well just had one team. As for Brennan/Haruka and Wally, my problem with these two rival groups is that Wally is okay as a character, but he doesn't really go through that much development. I think he's just more of a blank slate. And the same can be applied for Brennan and Haruka. Or May, whatever. I take issue with this because compare it to Generation 2 and the first generation's rivals. They had personality. Gen 2's rival Silver had development to him. I don't really see that with Generation 3, and I understand that behind the scenes, Gen 2 was supposed to be the final Pokemon game, and Gen 3 was return to basics, but just because it's return to basics, and I do appreciate them for still making Pokemon games, but I still feel like the rivals leave a lot to be desired. Another disappointment I feel is what they did with the father character. Generation 3 was the first Pokemon game, main series anyway, to have your main character's father appear, and I was interested to see what they were going to do with this plot element. Unfortunately, they don't do much with it, and that's a shame. I'm not saying that Norman should have been a main character, but I believe they could have done a bit better. It's not an issue that it angers me, it's just like, it's disappointing. I will say though that the Pokemon are good. If you watch Top 80 Favorite Pokemon, you probably noticed that Gen 3 had a lot of Pokemon on that list. I even made a couple jokes about it. I no longer think that the Pokemon are forgettable, I think they're all pretty good, for the most part, but then again there's going to be Pokemon that not everyone likes. I'm pretty sure Luvdisc is the most common Pokemon that is hated in this generation. Or Mawile, but that's more along the lines of Autark. And I also like a bunch of the typings. I think they're pretty good. Firefighting is one, water and ground, even though Quagsire did it first. I like it. And a bunch of the Pokemon designs are pretty good. Altaria is a good example. Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza are good examples. Sceptile, Swampert, Grumpig may be based off a pig, but I still like it. Gardevoir is a pretty good design. I like these Pokemon designs, frankly. They're pretty good. I also like that, unlike the last two generations, if the battery goes out in Gen 3, all you really lose is the ability to grow berries. It's better than having to redo your save multiple times. I've had the game for over 10 years, and I still have my same save file. I also think the music's pretty good as well. Steven's theme, Elite Four theme, Team Magma and Aqua's themes were pretty good. Gym Leader theme, the main theme of the game, they're all pretty good soundtracks, and I'm a sucker for the trumpets, sue me. Sure, I wish the cries would go away, but I think that's something you pretty much gotta get used to, unfortunately. I wish that the metagame was better, but I guess that's what Emerald's for, considering the Battle Frontier. Oh well. I also wish that they added the physical special split in this generation, especially in this generation, because as someone who's been playing hacks for a while, I've seen people put the physical special split into hacks of Generation 3 ROMs, and I'm thinking, how come hackers can do this but not the official company? But just things that I just don't enjoy. Does it mean that this game is bad? No. Would I still play through it again? Yeah. I actually didn't mind playing it through again for the speedrun, and I actually liked it. So yeah, my opinion on Generation 3 is that I actually like it this time around. It has a few flaws, but no generation is perfect. And I already addressed those flaws. Flaws like the pre-physical special split were in the first two generations as well, so I can't really bitch about Gen 3 for doing it, because Gens 1 and 2 had it as well. Would I put it at the bottom of the list? No, I still think Generation 1 is a little bit worse, but that's mainly because of aging. Gen 1 has a lot more glitches than Generation 3. I'd probably put Generation 3 at number 4 on that list instead of number 5, and then put Gen 1 at number 5. I mean, I still like Gen 2 a little bit more because it was the first one, and I'm a little nostalgia blind to it. Gen 5 still kick ass, and Gen 4 is still pretty good because it has my favorite remakes out there. But for what it's worth, I no longer consider Generation 3 to be my least favorite generation. I know some of you may argue that I'm only doing this to gain the popular opinion, but the thing is, the last time I played the game before the speed run was when I was around 14 years old. Yeah, when I did top 5 Pokegens, both the original and the remake, I didn't play those games for the sake of those countdowns, so I didn't have a fresh opinion. Now that I have played it again, I have a more fresh opinion in my mind, and I can honestly say that this was pretty good to play. I would honestly replay this game again. If only I could say the same for Fire and Leaf Green, but I'll leave that for another time. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Do you want me to do a video on why I'm not a fan of Fire Red Leaf Green? Let me know in the comments below. But overall, I no longer hate Generation 3. But what was your first Pokemon generation? Do you like Gen 3? Are you excited for the Ruby and Sapphire remakes? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Kyria, and take care.